Folks will want to stay tuned for that. Thank you, Brad. We turn now to this tonight. An all-new WCNC Charlotte investigation is revealing long before the city of Charlotte settled with retiring CMPD chief Johnny Jennings for $305,000. The city apparently paid him another $77,000 in moving expenses. This was when Jennings became the chief in 2020. WCNC Charlotte's Nate Morabito discovered those moving expenses were meant to help the longtime CMPD employee relocate to Charlotte from neighboring Union County. So Nate, joining us now to continue a conversation we started on WCNC Plus at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So what have you learned here about this money paid?
Yeah, let's start with this, Vanessa. This is the 2020 job posting for CMPD chief. It lists a minimum requirement to live in Charlotte within 3 months of getting hired. Before moving to Charlotte, records show Chief Jennings lived less than 30 miles away. Well, these newly obtained pay stubs show the city gave him more than $77,000 to relocate.
Deputy Chief Johnny Jennings will be the next police chief for Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department.
May 2020, in the early days of the pandemic, City Manager Marcus Jones publicly introduced the new leader of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. But just a week later, records show, privately, the city paid the then deputy chief $43,000 in moving expenses.
That's our challenge, that we come together and we can set a good example for the entire community.
Chief Jennings shared those words with us in late June as he sat for his first interview, just days before his official swearing in.
I, Johnny Jennings.
Pay stubs show a little more than a month later, the city quietly paid him another $33,000 in moving expenses. The two taxable payments totaling more than $77,000, even though he lived just one county over.
Well, $77,000 is that's the annual income of many Americans.
David McGarry is with the nonpartisan nonprofit Taxpayers Protection Alliance. The organization criticized the lack of transparency shown by the city in paying the chief an undisclosed settlement in May related to a former council member's war with Jennings over whether patrol officers should wear outer carrier vests. Amid mounting public pressure and an investigation by the state auditor, the chief eventually released the details of his $305,000 separation agreement, which include a promise to retire in January.
There seems to be a consistent pattern in which the city has paid surprisingly large amounts of money to the police chief over the course of his career, which should raise taxpayers' eyebrows.
McGarry said while it's reasonable for a city to assume some of the cost of a move to incentivize securing the best candidates, $77,000 to change zip codes sounds excessive.
Taxpayers should put the pressure on their elected officials not to just throw out public funds for no good reason or simply for convenience sake. And really enforce accountability.
So WCNC Charlotte requested justification from the city about these payments since the then incoming chief moved from less than 30 miles away. The spokesperson would only say the position required the chief live in Charlotte, described as a common recruitment policy. Now, this is the city's relocation policy, which we requested today. Interestingly enough, it allows up to $60,000 in relocation costs, with $24,000 going towards expenses and $36,000 helping with costs linked to selling an employee's home, and allows even more if the city council approves. So did the city council approve the $77,000 in this case? We've asked that question. We've also asked the mayor to weigh in. We'll pass along those answers and that information, Vanessa, when we get it.
All right, to be continued. Nate, thank you for keeping us updated.